Round 15 of the 2019 F1 season brings us to the Hungaroring for the Hungarian Grand Prix, and the race that brings some shock news once again in the driver market, and also brings the second driver change of this season, as Antonio Giovinazzi has now been dropped by Alfa Romeo in favour of what was the 2020 signing of Kevin Magnussen, due to Giovinazzi's considerable poor performance compared to teammate Josh Tiro throughout the season so far. Red Bull will look to get back to winning ways now that all the power trucks except Canada are out of the way now for the remainder of the season. Verstappen keen to get back to his winning ways and dominate here the Hungarian Grand Prix, where he could have won his first race last year. Renault also looking for a return back to normality, as an actually have to run this weekend with some downforce back on the car, but Renault also confirmed there will be no further upgrades for the car for this season, leaving Verne and Hulkenberg have to do the best job with what they've got. Kevin Magnussen though is looking to get up to speed pretty quickly with his Alfa Romeo car. Of course, after testing with the team back at the pre-season test, he is familiar with the machinery, and throughout all three practice sessions was within 2/10 of teammate Josh Tiro. Tiro though, also showing good speed, also struggling a little bit with the balance of his car, and has been proven mostly in practice 3, as coming into the second to last corner he would clip the curb and run wide and end up spinning, but thankfully over him would avoid the tyre barrier and no real damage was done to the car. Hey guys, Renault here. Welcome back to the F1 UniONE career. This time for round 15 here at the Hungarian Grand Prix, a track which is not usually my strongest circuit, although hopefully you can have a better time here than what I did last year, where I didn't actually finish the race. And here we have Alex Albon, P3 in the Red Bull. It's a great qualifying effort there from the tyre driver, since he's only been in that car for what, 3-4 races. You know, Daniel Kvyat out there in P2, so there's some quite big names up at the front of the grid, which well, would really expect anything different from how this championship's fared so far. And you get the nice view there of the start lights, which not going to be too long now until they're going out for the formation lap and then for the race start. And then on to the formation lap, here we can have a first look at the grid. All the cars look to be getting away well so far, so it's Max Verstappen. He takes pole position, just like looking to it's a good start for his dominance of the weekend so far. Kvyat is on in second place and Albon P3. Schumacher with a good lap in the Williams to start from P4, ahead of Kobayashi, who's made a return to form for qualifying for this round. Even more so, Nico Kari in P6, great qualifying from the Finn. Start P6 in the Toro Rosso, ahead of the other Mercedes of George Russell. With Robbie Kubica at 8th place in the second of the two Williams, with Gasly and Norris running off the top 10, so both Toro Rossos for the first time this season, both through into Q3. Leaving ourselves just knocked out, only just about by less than a tenth of a second, ahead then of Sebastian Vettel, the lead Ferrari, and then Hamilton went down the order as well, along with Stroll and Verne. I'll tell you about Magnussen, just couldn't quite get out of Q1, with Harry and Hulkenberg on the 9th row of the grid, and Herta in 19th place, and Leclerc starting all the way down at the back. After yet more Ferrari power unit issues, this time, there's Leclerc getting on this time, so it's still, the Ferrari car just does not work, just at all. They really need to work on their reliability if they're to stand any chance of keep playing any dignity this season if they want to keep fourth in the constructors in their fight with Red Bull. Now looking back to us now, we're lining up in P11. So and starting on, we're doing the alternate strategy as is everyone else who's making through into Q3. So well, also a lot. I mean, there's a lot of faster cars back here as well, so it's going to be quite interesting to see who comes out on top. And then we come to the far red lights for the start of the Hungarian Grand Prix. Lights out and away we go. And it looks like a pretty good even start there between the front row. A pretty even start there. Everybody is ahead to go. Good start there from the back as well. Now they're going to be side by side there down into turn 1. You've got Daniel Kvyat against side by side now with Max Verstappen. You've got a dive from Nico Kari on the inside line. Trying to go almost up into third place. Now doing battle there with Mick Schumacher, who's going to force out wide Lewis Hamilton. He managed to keep a house over the head there of our fellow Brit, a fellow championship winning driver as well. And then we've got Stroll looking very opportunistic, trying to go around the outside line of the Toyota, because Stroll rumoured be one of Kobayashi's replacements for next season. He's one of 3 drivers, so he's going to want to make the most of the TV time that he's got to try and put on an attack onto his possible teammate for next year. And it's Daniel Kvyat now then who leads the Grand Prix, so great start to the race there for the Russian. Now here we are then in P12, so only off one place off the start. I'm looking to a Ferrari, which, well, when the Ferraris are working, the Ferrari is a better car than the Alfa Romeo. But there's not really too much really between it. The Alfa Romeo has definitely been improving as the season goes on. Now then we've got Kevin Magnussen as a teammate, so hopefully I can actually have a teammate starts backing me up now with these race performances. Now they're coming through the middle sector. This was the most amount of time, because it's the centre of the lap where there's the most corners, and this Alfa Romeo car does not like corners whatsoever. Handling wise with this car still isn't brilliant, but it is a drivable car, just hasn't got the most pleasant driving experience. But if the car's quick, then how it feels to drive isn't really as important. Now just come down there and round the final corner. Keeping right behind the back here, then automatically running out a little bit wide because still going to be getting the dirty air from the back of the Ferrari because we're both on the same tyre compound as well. Not going to be any advantage or disadvantage here between the tyre compounds. For me to actually overtake me if we can on pure pace. Now we've got Hamilton there going up our inside line here into turn 1. I'm just going to back off and let the Toyota driver through because the Toyota is a much faster car than what we have. And then back from the Italian. Actually, that's going to be a bit of a grudge there for Hamilton. He's going to want to put one on us now for what we did to him last time out in the Italian Grand Prix, but whenever to take the win, although Hamilton did have some kind of car issues. And we've got Magnussen there doing battle there with Stroll, so this is what I need. I need a teammate, a feisty teammate like this. He's not willing, he's willing to put up a move, he's not afraid to throw his car at the inside line. I mean, this is what we saw back from Magnussen in 2014, and I was surprised actually that he wasn't kept on McLaren, but then again, if you choose between Alonso and Kevin Magnussen, you're probably going to take Alonso. And we get all the cars, well, there's not been any major incidents so far, which is actually a good thing, so I mean, there's been quite a few fights going on, but everyone's kept it clean so far, which is the main thing. And so we get this entire pack of cars up front there, still being led actually by one of the Toronto, they have Nico Kari, so they'll make that mega dive early on. So, yeah, they're doing a bit of a, what was a truly train back in the day, where UniONE qualified well in a terrible car, and then just holding everyone else up, because you couldn't overtake back then. You can't really overtake now either without DRS, but I'm pretty sure everyone would stay in the same positions. And now then you've got the Williams here, Robbie Kubica is going to try and make a move on that Toronto there in front of him. Getting a great one. Look at the speed of this car. The Williams actually showing some good speed compared to the Honda engine. You go for a dive on the inside line. You make a stick on the Toronto driver of Nico Kari. Kari can try to run the outside line. Just drive cleanly around the outside line so to try and defend his position. And actually he's holding it in front of the pole. He's got some good speed there, but he's got nowhere to go with it. And that's causing a bit of a locker there from Kari. So feeling the presence, feeling the pressure from the much experienced Polish man who made his Grand Prix debut back in 2006 in the BMW Sauber. And we've got the McLaren of Lando Norris there right up on the back of both of them. And we've got Hamilton making the move there on Sebastian Vettel. We're going to speed around the outside line as well. We're going to catch Vettel napping there. Good. You've got Pinch at the apex. Look at he ran the outside line. And then his next corner can keep it up the inside line and force Vettel out wide. Actually, that gives Verne an opportunity to try to move up the inside line. Of course, former teammates from 2017, former championship rivals from 2017. I'm sure there's no love lost here between these two, especially when Verne came out on top of Vettel in that race to take the championship in the season finale at Brazil in 2017, and they're still going simultaneously. So this is exactly what I need. It's giving me a load of breathing space from a car that's faster than me and a car that's not faster than me. So this is exactly what I need. But Vettel looks like he's going to try and make that move. Stick with it, get that superior power. You know, you think they've got the hands to make a move inside. I'm sure, but not really got anywhere to go because Verne and Vettel, both championship drivers in seasons gone by, so they definitely know a thing or two about attacking and defending from each other and every other car on the grid. Now then, is Verne going to be able to do anything around here? If the Ferrari's ailing, which it seems to be, with how easily Hamilton and myself managed to overtake, then Verne here with the DRS, he can make a move on the Ferrari. Vettel gets defensive to the inside line, Verne goes even more to the inside line. We're now under braking, now can make a move stick on the inside line, Verne's going to try and sweep it around. But I think it might be a double DRS zone. And it is. Once again, it's the Frenchman with the DRS. And just like in this championship finale 2017, he gets the better of the 5-time champion Sebastian Vettel, finds himself demoted now outside the points places. I'm pretty sure that's him back down now into P13, which is because we've got Vergne 12, us Hamilton 11th, and then Hamilton just in front of us there in P10. Now then, has run to lap 7 now of the Grand Prix. So me and Felix further on, not a whole lot's really happened for us. We've been there or thereabouts with this train of cars in front, led by the one of the Toros, and I think of Pierre Gasly, since I think Kari's a bit further up the road. Although we get a green first sector, so we set our personal best first sectors. I mean, 7 laps into the race, these tyres aren't really going off all that much yet. Now they come down into the middle sector. We've got a virtual safety car deployed though, and don't really know what's happened. There might have been a bit of a crash behind. And then, oh no, Hulkenberg out of the Grand Prix. And well, that is a real return to fortunes there for Hulk. He scored a podium and fastest start back at Belgium. Had an okay race at Italy and now has retired, and it's the first car out of this race, but at least it gives a chance to save the batteries a bit and a bit of fuel. Then on to the next one now, lap 8. We've got around to the back of this queue of cars, so I think they may have been doing a little bit of battling in this lap up to this point. You know, we've got the Williams of this queue of cars up in front of the Toroses, so Chris has managed to make a move on whichever of the two Toroses that is, well, probably still Nico Kari. And into the second class corner, we get around there without spinning this time. We're all over the back, pretty much pushing Hamilton here through the corner. There's not much more speed because he's being held there by the two cars in front. And now it's the McLaren on the Toros of them, Nico Kari coming to the pits, and that is the McLaren of Lando Norris. I mean, these two, they're, well, officially, Kari isn't really a rookie because he's done races before, but he's only done 3 or 4 races before this season, so I still count him as a rookie. This is his first full season in Formula 1. That's going to be a hard size for these lot, which makes sense actually. I don't think you could go hard, you could go soft to the mediums. I think there's just too many laps in this race unless you want to try and do it 2-stop, which I think might end up being slow overall because with this track there's only really 1 or 2 overtaking opportunities that's down the straight, so yeah, there's not really a whole lot you can do. Like Gasly, they're trying to do battle here with the McLaren, and then you just got to do, it's going to be his chance to try and get past. Actually, now that compromising, now here comes his teammate Kari trying to move up the inside line. Gasly losing the space because they're teammates, but I think Kari's going to be told to back off since Gasly seems to be doing a 2-stop and is currently on a faster compound of tyres. So this seems Toros are explaining the strategy. I mean, they really did look out to get into Q3. With Kari starting in 6th and Gasly in 8th, so the Toroses have pace this weekend. I mean, it makes sense to split the strategy to try and score some points in their battle with Haas to get out of last place in the Constructors, and also Renault find themselves in that fight still currently as well. And now they're on to lap 9. We're up into P4, we've got Danny Kvyat behind us, who I think was still leading the race. He set the fastest lap anyway. Now then, round the final corner, we've got one of the Williams cars there peeling off into the pit lane. Just stand now, this is going to put us now into the podium place now of P3, and then we've got DRS there on the back of Hamilton still. And so we've got Kvyat bearing down us now into turn 1, but the good straight line speed of our Alfa Romeo car when the Ferrari engine's actually working is enough to get someone. Honestly, the thing that Alfa Romeo is probably the 2nd fastest car in a straight line. Of course, behind the Toyota. In normal situations, when all the cars work, the Toyota is an absolute rocket ship in a straight line. Not as good around the corners, but I think it's definitely the best compromise of aero and straight line speed, engine power. Running out a bit while we're still almost 4 tenths up on our first sector time, so still finding a lot of time. And Hamilton, with his superior straight line speed, he really is just pulling us along, and we're really ruining Danny Kvyat's race here. He's on the hard tyres already, obviously, after making his pit stop. So Danny Kvyat, he's already a pit stop in front of us. But because this is a battle for position, I am not inclined whatsoever to let Danny Kvyat pass. So why would I lose time? If he wants to overtake me, he needs to get closer to actually try and make a move. Because my fight is with actually staying on the track. And my fight is with Lewis Hamilton and Danny Kvyat still all over the back of us, still can't find a way past us. Our Alfa Romeo is just too fast in a straight line. It was like it was back in last year, 2018. The Alfa Romeo wasn't the greatest thing around the corners, but it had a low straight line speed, which is why honestly it came good towards the end of the season when Sergio Leclerc scored the podiums in that car as well. And now then up here also into high to defend for the straight down. Danny Kvyat, we set our personal best after the race, 3.5 tenths quicker almost, and we're pretty much a third nearly into this race, so the tyre wear is actually holding up pretty good. I mean, this track, with how many corners there are, I think this track basically is all just corners, really. I would have thought the tyre wear would have been a lot higher than what it was. I mean, following Hamilton this closely, then the tyre wear, yeah, that tyre wear is going to get a lot higher than what we would have done if we were running around in clean air. Now then, Danny Kvyat's actually dropped off on the back of us, so maybe he's just going to back off if he likes, because he must know that we're pitting, what, 2-3 laps time. There's no point in him sticking up behind us, damaging his tyres, heating up his engine, heating up his brakes, when he knows that the only car he needs to defend from, really, in this race is Verstappen and Albon. And maybe Shimi, if Shimi and that's anywhere near. But he's not fighting ourselves or Hamilton in this race. We're definitely not part of the plan that's going to be affecting Danny Kvyat for winning this Grand Prix, so smart move there from Danny Kvyat just to back off for a bit. I'm getting a bit ragged out here now, getting a little bit all over the place. Into the second last corner, we're using all the cars that we're carrying out a bit wide there once again. Definitely feeling the presence here of Danny Kvyat. Of course, Kvyat, I mean, nothing against you, man, but you're in a Merc, and you know my relationship with Merc basically just disintegrated midway through 2015, and well, really into the start of 2015, but really through the midpoint. So, I mean, you're in a Merc, but I definitely don't want to let you through too easily. Into turn 1 was still not quite close to Hamilton. If Hamilton was just a little bit closer to us, I think we'd be able to make a move on him. So now on to the end of that lap 13. We're already closing in after the back of Lewis Hamilton. We're getting very close again, just throwing this car into the braking zones and somehow making it work. We could have easily just creamed into the rear of Hamilton there. And now then, Max Verstappen is joining the fight now, so we've got a 4-way fight here for the lead, but effectively it's between Kvyat and Verstappen for the lead of this Grand Prix. And now then, we have DRS there on the back of Hamilton once again. Kvyat tries to make a move on ourselves, but we're going to pull to the inside line. We go 3 wide now into tail wide. Is Kvyat going to force the issue on the inside line? No, he doesn't. He backs out, pitching himself there to the apex. And there's actually a little bit of contact with Houghton. He got a bit of a drift on either way. I'm going to try and make the move stick here. I'll lose Houghton around the outside line into the inside for next corner. We might have made a mistake. And now we move into the current lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's like 2 races in a row now. I've done Hamilton for the lead of the race. He's not going to talk. Going to be happy about that. I don't know where we found this pace from. The tyres seem to be really hard. Maybe races where the tyres really don't wear out. It seems where I had just had that marginal bit better tyre wear than the cars around me. So, I mean, saving tyres is not my speciality. But when the car wants to just do it by itself, I'm not going to say no to that. So now that we've taken the lead of the Grand Prix, now I can finally dictate the pace, although I do need to be wary of the massive amount of straight line speed that Hamilton's Toyota does possess, but immediately half a second down on my best lap, so bringing the pace back down to Alfa Romeo levels of pace. And Daniel Kvyat and Max Verstappen, or it could be Albon, I'm not sure which of the Red Bulls it is, they can't do they can do nothing about it now, and to infuriate them even more. Carrying on further now, I've done nearly half the race on this set of tyres. The tyre wear is absolutely non-existent. And, well, I gained time back in that final sector, which is where I need to be gaining, so I can pull away from Houghton and Daniel Kvyat and whatever Red Bull that is, because those cars are all under normal circumstances, they're all a lot faster than what I am. Got on to the end of lap 15. I'm going to be music to the ears with 3 cars behind me that are going to be pitting now at the end of this lap. Now, is Houghton going to follow me in, or is he going to do the opposite? I guess we'll see when we see the external camera. I think Hamilton stayed out there on the tracks, and now Hamilton is going to retake the lead for now of the Grand Prix, which he does. He not follows into the pit lane. And you got a Ferrari, and the other Red Bull, they're making a move on the Scarlet Red car. He's got an empty pit lane for Alfa Romeo, so there's no pressure here from the Alfa boys. Just need to get all of these tyres on, which they do. Now we rejoin back onto the track now. And also going to be, whereabouts do we rejoin? Because all the cars that stopped before in the top 10, they're all going to have an undercut on us. And then they come out actually, oh no, I've come out right behind a car that I didn't want to, the Haas. And that's going to be a lot of Stroll, isn't it? Because it's a bit further up the order. We know Stroll is an absolute brick wall. He's an immovable object in terms of trying to overtake him. But I need to make this move on him. I'm going to try and look for where that's a line. There's no way through there. Now I could get a good run off here and possibly try and make a move on the Canadian going now into the second sector of that, but still not quite close enough to make a move on him. Now into this sweeping right hander. Not a lot through here though, but at least I can try and get a bit of a tank slapper though, because the tyre's not yet up to temperature. I'm trying to force him around the corners a lot quicker than what I really should be doing. In fact, I'm just losing time, but this Haas is going to be so slow at this point in the race. I mean, it's so slow anyway. It's one of... I mean, it probably is the worst car on the grid, as of right now, in terms of how the performance is from car to car. And I really need these other cars to start boxing soon. Honestly, I need Stroll to box this lap. Stroll box this lap. Maybe I can just like get onto his radio and tell him to and tell Stroll to box this lap. Maybe that's going to work. I mean, actually, I don't know, but maybe it has, because now he's coming in. And that is a lap that I could not really afford, though. To be stuck right up the back of the Haas. Now I'm moving a bit further on. We've got a Ferrari there going slowly now. He's actually going to hold up here. Pierre Gasly and Thompson. He's weaving all over the place. I don't know what Vettel's doing there. Now we've got one of the runners that sneaks through, and the Taurus makes it past. And Vettel, he's pulling off the road again. What's happening to the Ferrari?
Sake, honestly, what the f are we doing here?
Well, Vettel's seemingly had enough, which I can't blame him, because how many failures and faults with the cars? Yeah, I mean, we saw him wiggling around. I think he's got a loose wheel again. I think Vettel's just come out of the pit lane and his wheels come off. Because as that was happening, this is where I made the move. That was a replay of something that was happening as I was getting past the Haas. So, yeah, Vettel's come out of the pits on the hard tyres. He started the same as what we did, and he's come out of the pit lane and his tyres come off. Or was going to come off. It was a loose wheel. We've got Star Wars here between the McLaren and the Williams, but yeah, such bad luck again. I mean, they did it at Belgium to Vettel, and they've done it again here to Vettel. The Ferrari crew can't put 4 wheels on a car. Well then, looking up front, you've still got Daniel Kvyat, who's leading the Grand Prix. I mean, he's got some good track speed in the car. He's leading there from Max Verstappen. They're both on the hard side, so no advantage there. Now you see they've already had a massive battle back at Britain, which went down to the wire. I think they did about, what, half the race side by side, basically changing position every lap or two. And that battle there went in the favour of Max Verstappen. Now what's happened with the DRS? Kvyat goes defensive to the inside line. Verstappen goes for a dive on the inside line. He's going to get pinched to the apex though. He goes for a massive dive though. Kvyat though leads in the space, but Kvyat gets some good traction around the outside line and just completely drives right around the outside line of Max Verstappen. A brilliant defensive move there from Daniel Kvyat, because these two. The thing is, with them battling so much as they did back at Silverstone, they've learned so much about each other's driving styles, about their strengths and weaknesses and all that. And their battling is allowing Albon to keep in the fray. And then we have fellow F2 graduate and F2 champion, in this case George Russell there ahead of Mick Schumacher in the Williams, and George Russell was on set medium, so I think Russell was trying a two-stop in this race. Then we have Kobayashi, who's got a much needed return to form, and then we have ourselves just behind the Japanese driver. And then we're in a Toyota sandwich still, because we're still ahead there of Hamilton. Then we have Kubica in the second of the Williams behind us, who still cannot get rid of Lando Norris. They've two been inseparable since the start of the race, really. And then we have Gasly on the mediums, who still has to make another stop in this race yet. Then we have Verne in the Renault on the hards, followed then by our new teammate K-Mag in the Alpha. He's further up than what Gio would have been, I'll give him that much. Still not quite in the points places yet, I don't think so anyway. He's ahead though of Harriento, which is always a good thing. And he's ahead of the sole remaining Ferrari as well, Charles Leclerc. I don't think he's even in a points place as things stand. And then behind him we've got Kari there in the Toro Rosso, who's really dropped back. I mean, the Toro Rosso dropping back to really where it should be. Followed then by the Hassen of Colin Herta on the set of hard tyres. And then I think bringing up the rear should be, and it is, Lance Stroll. So the two Hasses and the Toro Rossos really are just finding their way back down to where they... I mean, unfortunately for them, it's where they should be, honestly. Back onto the fight low up front. Still got Daniel Kvyat leading the Grand Prix, but Verstappen now is getting ever closer. But really, he's one chance he can overtake is down the start-finish straight. And if Kvyat just saves his battery, his engine motor and that for this one straight, there's nothing at all that Verstappen could do about it. And Verstappen there with the DRS once again. He's going to try and make the same move. Once again, Kvyat goes defensive to the inside line, but Verstappen moves earlier this time. The battery is going to force Kvyat back over to the outside line. Kvyat's going to try and make the same move they did before. He can try and sneak in there around the outside line, but Verstappen drifts his car out wide, forces Kvyat out wide. Nice move there from Verstappen. He now takes the lead of the Hungarian Grand Prix with... I don't know how much longer is left of the race. I mean, it felt like it's gone on for quite a while, but for a lot of it, not a whole lot's really happened. Verstappen though, since he made that move, he's already pulling away. I mean, Verstappen, he's had some mega pace, and the car, well, I mean, on the high-speed tracks, you wouldn't really expect a Red Bull car to ever really do well, since they haven't really. Apart from, I mean, like 2011, when the car was just so dominant that being slow in a straight line wasn't really the main issue with it. Kvyat though, you know, he's not going to give up easily. Talking of not giving up easily, we've still got Hamilton behind us. He's been behind us now for basically half the race. And now it's just finally the time where he's going to try and make a move on us. I mean, we've been there or thereabouts with Hamilton, but now then, he makes a move now. We've got Kobayashi still going to get switching, but Hamilton is telling the engine to look at that straight line speed of that car. That is some unreal straight line speed. As I was saying, you turn the Toyota engine up, and that thing just blasts away in a straight line. I mean, I don't know what they've done, but their engine development is far, far superior from what they had back in the previous gen of the V10s and the V8s. I mean, I guess with their hybrid technology, when they designed the Prius and their hybrid technology in the WEC, I guess they've got the knowledge there of how to make the batteries work. It's definitely transforming and over here into the Formula 1 side of things. But through the corners, Hamilton's not really pulling away from me all too much. So there still could be a fight left yet to come before the end of this race. And Kobayashi, he didn't listen to team orders last year. Ultimately, he didn't affect things in the championship. But now Kobayashi, there's question marks over whether he's going to be in Formula 1 next year, and if he's going to be in that Toyota seat, and if he wants to stand any chance of being in that car still, now until lap 33. Hamilton is right up behind, right up his chuff now, right up behind him, and Kobayashi is sure he's going to have to let Hamilton through. And we're going to see our tyres now starting to drop off. Although we are still going faster, so the pace is still there, but just a little bit inconsistent. Like I said, this car isn't the most pleasant driving experience in the world, so unlocking the pace lap after lap after lap isn't the easiest thing in the world to do. And I did pit one lap earlier than Hamilton and I think Kubica as well, so They're going to have one lap fresher tyres, but that shouldn't really make too much of a difference. Now Hamilton with the DRS. Kobayashi gets first into this line, but now Hamilton's going to try and make the same move on Kobayashi than what Verstappen did on Kvyat earlier on. Now they're going to try and squeeze out Kvyat into the corner, but Kvyat's having none of it though. Kvyat ran the outside line. I think Kvyat has got a point to prove that he's definitely F1 worthy, but he's nowhere near the championship fight. Hamilton is with Kvyat and Schumi. And since also, more crucially, both the drivers are in front of him as well, Hamilton here needs every single point that he can get. It's still side by side, but Kobayashi, that was a blatant out of the power there. I think he must have been told on the radio then to let Hamilton go. I mean, they're probably waving the contract in front of the mic, like, here's the contract for the next season, let Hamilton pass now. I mean, surely, I mean, they probably do have equal status, but at this point in the season, they are going to have to favour Hamilton in this case. But their squabbling there has allowed me and Kubica to get right into the back of these two. But now, as immediately as they stop fighting, I one run off the track. Kubica gets a massive run here up the inside line. They're going to try and squeeze into the inside line into the corner. Going to keep it side by side here. Going to pinch it to the apex so he gets a little bit of power. He gets a bit of square on the curb, which allows us to get back in front of the thing, thankfully. Now then, runs to take his last corner. I think really, realistically, you're going to have to turn my attention to defending from Kubica rather than attacking Kobayashi. He's going to have the DRS and slipstream off the back of his teammate. I've only got one lap of the race left to go, and I think P7 is going to be the best that we can hope for in this Grand Prix. Crucial that we have the DRS on the back of Kobayashi, but you can see he's just leaving us for dead. Those tyres have definitely got the engines turned up just to pull away from us to keep us away from ourselves and Kubica. If something goes wrong with us here right behind, we could end up spearing the Toyota out of the race, and the Toyotas, they're in a good position now anyway with Hamilton. Well, he's still going to lose points to Kvyat and Schumi, but it's less points than what he would have been losing if he was still behind Kobayashi. And 13th to 5th, especially around the Hungary ring, that's a good effort as we put up our personal best first sector on the final lap, using everything that this car's going to give us. I mean, we haven't got much fuel left to play with, haven't got much ERS left to play with either, but through this section here, this is where I can have the ERS on low and save some battery power, because there's no way through here that you're basically going to make it, especially not through these S's corners here. I mean, unless you're really going side by side into this sector, you can't make it, there's no way you can just stick it around the outside line, especially not in cars which aren't too dissimilar. As Verstappen was the fastest lap, and Verstappen wins the Grand Prix. Dominant fashion, there we go. Kubica on the inside line, going to squeeze him to the inside line, squeeze him as much as we can. Going to make a little bit under there and corner, going to hold it on the curbing. There's no warning left in their face. They saw it as a all fairy love and war in Formula 1. And I think that might have been Kubica's last ditch effort there. To come down there and round the final corner. We run out wide because the tyres really haven't got anything left to give now at this point. Has to be allowed the run now up to the line, and we're just not going to get Kubica's backed off. P7. That is a really hard fought position there. GG, Robbie. I mean, you gave it a go. I'll squeeze you as much as I can. Just left you enough room there on the inside. But the shoe saw nothing wrong with it, so I guess there's nothing wrong with it. But Christine Horner celebrating Verstappen's win in a dominant fashion in the end. I mean, we knew we wanted to dominate this weekend on a track which historically has been Red Bull friendly, especially since the Adrian Newey designed Red Bulls, at least anyway. The team there will seem very happy to get themselves there back on track. We've got Kobayashi there in P6, but he seems pretty disappointed, but it's better than where he's been recently. Taking a look at the end results, and Verstappen takes the win and the fastest lap point after an almost 50-minute race. So yeah, that one definitely went on for quite a bit. And he was just over 4 seconds clear of Kvyat, who gets settled for second. And Alex Albon gets his first podium in Formula 1 coming home, where he started in third. With Mick Schumacher also finishing where he started in fourth. With Hamilton there, P5, with his teammate Kobayashi in P6. But that one extra point could prove crucial for Hamilton later in the season. Ourselves in P7 after P11, so we made the alternate strategy work, and we were the lead alternate strategy driver. Actually, no, that was Hamilton. With Kubica finishing where he started in P8. With Russell down in 9th, the two stop really not working for him too well. With Norris finishing also where he started in P10. With K-Mag, nice one, getting 11th place points on debut with Alfa Romeo. With Harrianta running off the point scorers for McLaren in 12th. No points for Ferrari today, as Leclerc could only manage P13, but to be fair, from the back of the grid, P13 is an okay effort, as he beats out both the Torossos of Karim Gasly, who finished basically neck and neck come the end. The Conrad finishing in 16th place, ahead of the Renault of Jean-Eric Verne. With Stroll as the last finisher in 18th, with the Germans of Vettel and Hulkenberg as the 2 retirements from this race. Moving on to the driver standings now, and Schumi still leads the way, and he's 8 points clear of Lewis Hamilton now, and Dan Kvyat slowly chipping away at that lead. He's now only 29 points off. We've got Charles Leclerc still in P4, but he's coming under threat now from Verstappen. He's only 6 points behind the Monegasque now. And with Verstappen's win, he gets back in front of us now for P5, dropping us back down into P6. And we're 8 points clear then of fellow Brit George Russell in the Merc, who is 15 points clear of Kubica in the Williams. Kobayashi and Vettel swap places once again, and now Kobayashi now 6 points clear of Vettel, with Gasly in 11th and Lando Norris running off the top 12 on 31 points. With his first podium, Alex Albon now gets up into 13th place with 25 points. 3 points clear of Hulkenberg, who's on 22, and Haryanto down into 15th on 16 points. You have Matsushita in 16th on 11. 4 points clear of Colin Herta on 7, who's 1 point clear of Stroll and Nico Kari. With Verne 20th on 4, along with Gio. Kevin Magnussen means now all the drivers again have points with his first 2 points of the season. And finally now moving on to the constructor standings, and Williams still lead the way. And they're 11 points clear then of Toyota. And then in third place is Mercedes, but they're only 3 points behind Toyota and only 14 points off the lead, so it's a three-way fight still in the drivers, and the three-way fight still in the team championships as well. And you've got Ferrari in P5 on 189 points, only 15 points clear now of Red Bull. Red Bull are definitely coming for that 4th place. We've got Alfa Romeo now break the 100-point barrier on 108, and we're looking more and more set then ahead of McLaren, who are in 7th on 62. We've got Renault in 8th on 26, Haas 9th on 13, and Toro remaining at the bottom on 12. So remember to leave a like if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below as well, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out any of my future videos. You also give me a follow on Twitter and Instagram, that'll be much appreciated. They'll also be linked down in the description below. Also, if you've got the F1 game here on PC like me, you can download the livery mods that I use, which will be the blue Rocket Williams livery, the Sticker Bomb BWT livery for the Toyota, the 125-year Merc livery, the S2V Esports Alfa Romeo livery, and the Y-Bikes Haas livery. They're all down in the description. If you want to go game on PC, when I give them download and use them yourself, so you can do that. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.